Yes.
Football. You play the game with those that many big momentum swings.
I mean, we tried to shoot ourselves in the foot as much as we could. That's obvious. There's a lot for sure to clean up, but you talk about responding to adversity and seeing guys come together within a game. And, the emotional roller coaster some may be on. I just love how we stayed consistent. And I love the guys and how they played.
What does a type of win like this do for you guys as a team? I know you guys have a lot to clean up, but what does this do for you?
Yeah, as a team that's finding our identity together, I think you see a bunch of guys, being more and more connected as the weeks go on through practice, through games, and then you go through adversity like that, and then you find a way to win through a drive that takes a lot of time off the clock, and you finish it with a field goal. I think that's great clock management, but more importantly, the guys up front, I'm proud of them. I love the mentality they had and in the run game. But more importantly, I think you look at the things you can clean up and look how good we can be, and that's things we have to clean up. That's me included, taking sacks when I shouldn't, taking negative plays, which puts us behind the chains. It's pre-snap penalties. That's even in-game, penalties that, push us back some. So you look at that all as a whole. You dissect these drives and how can you get better.
The point of emphasis was creating more explosive plays this week, and you guys pulled that off. A, what were the key to doing that? And B, how much confidence does that give you that, you guys can identify an issue you want to clean up and fix it?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's identifying an issue. I think we had a lot of shots called, and I look back too on that game, like there's things that I could have done better to hold a bit longer and try and push the ball down the field. But then you also gain confidence in how we're, creating windows and isolation for our receivers. But hopefully James, I don't know if you're in the press box, but kiss the ball, in the air when that ball's flying by. But it's a good time, and I think naturally, that sets us up.
In the first half with so many ups and downs, just what were you telling yourself in those moments, and what were you telling the team to kind of stay on track, stay in it?
Yeah, I think you just look back and you're like, gosh, it's a penalty here. It's everyone taking their turn of messing up. A fumble on the minus side of the field that ended up turning into points that I am extremely disappointed about because it can't happen. Just there's no answer to it. So. Just things like that. You look at us taking our turns, and it's things that we need to clean up, but are fixable.
What did you see pre-snap with Trayshawn on that 57-yard touchdown? Just see man cover. What was the call there?
Yeah, I mean they got us early with that zero coverage, and believe they had dropouts on that too. But we're in a formation that helped us get into that call, but also that's great about the in-helmet communication, getting lined up. But also just having that within our arsenal as a, check, from week to week.
When some of these issues don't look the same as last week, and it's 5 more O-line penalties and 3 or 4 more sacks, the fumble in particular. And some of these are repeating. Like clearly, you harped on it all last week. You changed the O-line a lot tonight. What's it gonna take to get these fixed?
Yeah, I mean you're insane if you keep doing the same. And sorry for my language. The same. There's no change in result because you're doing the same thing. But I think we've done a good job of changing it in practice, and I think we did clean up certain things, but there's a lot more to clean up. But let's just say we play our cleanest game, that could be the difference, in 10 to 15 plays of us, taking advantage and having positive drives and end in touchdowns.
What's the challenge to you of 2 centers, 4 different lineups, and 11 different changes to an O-line in 57 plays?
The challenge, I think we help ourselves out, from January and doing a lot of mixed groups and able to play with, a bunch of different centers. I've played with Bryce Charlie, Poncho, Marcus Harper, within a whole, January to this point. And probably even another one I'm forgetting, but I think that helps us in a bunch of ways. But as you're seeing, we're trying to find our identity as a group, as a unit, and I think that comes with its learning curve.
Do you think with all the mixing and matching, has that kind of been hard for you to find that consistency you guys feel like in these next games? Are you closer to finding that?
No, I believe so. I think there's, like I said, there's a lot to clean up as a unit, and as you take back, we each took our turns and messing up, and shoot, I'm right at the top of that list. So there's going to be a lot of self-reflection, a lot of going to the doctor, as coach says, and cleaning up because we have to. There's no, there's only so much you can get away with, and you have to not put yourself in that position because, like I said, towards the end it gets strenuous, and thank goodness for Atticus, but you leave it up to chance, and you don't want to be in those positions.
There's a lot of long road trips this season, man, with this first one, 45 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
What privilege is that to play in a game like that means so much to so many people living in the state?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak enough, good about, Oregon fans. I think as a player, getting Autzen at night, you just see the fan environment, the fans loving us for who we are and wanting to see us succeed. And as a player who's been at, 3 different schools, I notice that, and I feel that, and I think that helps us out as players. But, I think it just means a little more when you play somebody within the, hour radius. And of course, everyone knows the rivalry, but I'm excited to play in it. I watched Marcus play in the Civil War with the green, yellow, 808 face mask. So there's a lot of things that I remember on the famous hurdle. So.
When you're a team that's still learning how to win together, and you are playing from behind, and you have had some stuff not go your way. I mean, let's face it, the crowd was booing at times.
Yeah.
How hard is that for the team to kind of overcome that or keep its composure when there's a lot of guys who haven't quite been out there in that sort of environment before?
Yeah, I think. I hate to say this, but it's FIBU. It's us focused on ourselves in that moment. We dug our own hole, and we had to get ourselves out of it. And you look at those 2 special teams plays. I mean, Tez and Noah, 2 guys that are extremely explosive, but then when they're on the field at the same time for us as offense, you just see how good they are with the balls in their hand, balls. But I think that's, something to speak about is the way we responded.
What happened on the early snaps? Dan was saying there was 2 of them. Obviously, we saw the one with Charlie, but
Yep.
you said it happened twice. What happened?
Yeah, with noise, there comes, not squeaking the horses. And, I need to do a better job of being able to control that. From check to check, there's noise that happens. And we do a great job of, simulating that at practice with speakers. But you get what you emphasize. And we got to continue to emphasize the things we need to clean up so that doesn't happen.